So you guys, let's react to some horror stories by hold on. By Stephen D. Hey, Stephen Diamond, yeah. Stephen SVD. I found a screaming man locked in a apartment basement. Why the hell was he in there? I will never know.
My early 20s, I worked as a meter reader in Iowa. I'm the person who records how much electricity, gas, or water you've used each month. The owner who signed up
Not gonna let this kind of sound kind of cool.
would give us consent and provide us with spare keys to enter if their meters were inside the house.
Ooh, meter
Entering a
meter.
home when nobody's there is something I never got used to. I hate basements. I've seen walls
Same.
with roaches scurrying across,
Burn them motherfuckers.
cobwebs so thick and dusty,
Burn it.
rats and snakes and more strange things.
Ooh,
But there
vampires.
was one basement that truly terrified me. It was an old apartment house. I entered the back door and found myself at the top of a staircase. I ran my hand along the wall until it grazed the light switch.
Yes.
I flipped the switch, but no lights turned on. I wasn't carrying a flashlight either. As a typical...
Go get a fucking flashlight! Go get a goddamn flashlight. People like you should know you, and I'm dying. Whatever the fuck you do, if you don't have a flashlight, go to the store and buy a fucking flashlight. Jesus Christ, man. You didn't even say your name, man. Well, who name is you? What is your name?
Route involved 5 or 6 hours of walking. I did carry an old lantern with me, so I made my way down into the darkness. Once at the bottom, I discovered 2 doors. I chose the door on the right and found the meters in the far corner. As I entered the reads, I began hearing noises coming from the other room. Something was moving, and there was whimpering that grew louder the longer I listened. I realized it was a dog and it sounded weak and distressed. I tried to open the door, but it was locked. At this point, the dog was scratching the other side of the door, and I felt helpless. And then, the sound stopped. I reported it when I got back into the office, but I couldn't shake the thought of it. So there I was, not long after, back within that basement. I kept my ears open for any sounds coming from the other room. This time I heard nothing, but I couldn't shake the memory of that dog. My curiosity got the best of me, and that is when I made a huge mistake. I tried to open the door.
Wait a second, that was like a month ago. Okay. You could have kicked the door in. You could have used a damn heavy boot and kick it. You could have kicked the shit out of it. You could have saved the dog. Oh my god, man. It was a puppy too. Shit.
Blood-curdling screams unlike anything I've ever heard. I stumbled backwards, nearly losing my balance.
Wait. This guy reminds me of somebody. What's that name? Gate. Yeah, Gate. Shit. Yeah, Gate dude, yeah.
Hello? Who's in there? There was no response. Just screams. Are you okay? Do you need help? There was no doubt that I yelled loud enough for him to hear me, but he didn't want my help. He wanted me gone. I fumbled my way through the darkened room toward the exit. When I reached the top of the stairs, I just stood there, listening. Who would be alone inside that room? I finally left and I reported what I'd heard, but nothing came out of it. There was no sign of him the next month, or even the next several months. I nearly given up on solving the mystery, when a stroke of luck pulled me back in. One night, I went to a concert with my friend Laura. After the show, I gave her a ride home. She just moved in, so she had to give me directions. I didn't pay much attention to where she was leading me, until she pointed to a house a ways up the street. I couldn't believe it. She had moved into the house with the mysterious room in the basement. This may sound weird, but have you noticed anything odd about the basement at this? Yeah, a crazy guy lives down there. Finally, I had confirmation. She told me that even though she lived in the attic, she often heard him yelling late at night. She had actually met him. She saw him standing in the lawn. He stood perfectly still, with no expression on his face. Feeling a little creeped out, she just went in her car and left. And then I finally met him myself. I entered the back door like I had before, but this time something was different. The light was on in the basement. I peered down the staircase, and at the bottom, a ragged-looking dog was staring back at me. Then I noticed something else. Behind the dog, I could see a pair of bare feet. I should have left right then. At this point, my desire to finally get some answers outweighed my fear. I shakingly called out, meter reader, as I made my way down.
Hey, Dashi. Dashi!
More of him was revealed. He looked to be middle-aged. His head was shaved and his eyes were wild. I explained who I was and what I was doing there, and to my surprise, not only did he talk to me, but he actually sounded somewhat normal. I even started to doubt whether or not he was the same man I'd heard screaming. As I read the meters, he was constantly wringing his hands together and spastically cocking his head from side to side. The longer he talked, the more agitated he became. As I turned to head up the staircase, he could no longer hold it in. Screams, the very same unforgettable screams I'd heard coming from the locked room. I ran up the stairs as fast as my legs would carry me, flung the door open, and rushed back into the daylight.
Give the dude some fucking meds. Even though that shit might not help, but like still something, right? Shit. Screaming like that like you're some damn wild ass maniac.
I told my friends about the experience, and when I finished telling my story, she told me about something she'd seen a week earlier. One day, she noticed lights flashing outside her window. She looked outside just in time to see police officers placing the man from the basement in the back seat of a squad car. She later found out from another tenant that he had attacked someone with a weapon, and that was the last they ever saw of him. I don't know what became of that man in the basement. I like to think that he got the help he needed. But maybe that's just because I'd rather not think about the alternative.
Hey, alternative. Hey, sorority parties and shit. Let me stop.